In this lesson I want to teach you how to build a practical emergency food supply for your household, calmly, without panic buying, and without turning your home into a warehouse. Let me start with what we are actually trying to achieve here. The goal is not to prepare for a catastrophe. The goal is to give your household a short-term food buffer, enough food to manage comfortably for 7 to 14 days without needing to go to the shops. That is a realistic and achievable target for most families, and it is genuinely useful in a wide range of situations: a power outage, a bad storm, illness, supply disruptions, or simply a chaotic week where you cannot get out. The first principle of calm food storage is this: store what you already eat. This is the most important rule, and the one most people get wrong. They buy food specifically for emergencies, things they would never normally eat, and it sits on a shelf for 2 years and gets thrown away. Instead, think about the foods your household already uses regularly: rice, pasta, oats, tinned tomatoes, tinned beans, tinned fish, peanut butter, dried lentils, cooking oils, salt, sugar. These are not special survival foods. They are just normal pantry staples that happen to store well. The second principle is to build gradually. You do not need to buy a month's supply in one shopping trip. A much simpler approach is to buy a little extra each week. When you buy pasta, buy 2 packets instead of 1. When you buy tinned goods, add a few extra. Over 4 to 6 weeks, that habit builds a meaningful food buffer without any single large expense. The third principle is rotation. Your emergency food supply is not a museum. It needs to move. The way rotation works is straightforward. When you bring new stock in, it goes to the back of the shelf. You cook from the front. That way, nothing sits long enough to expire, and your supply stays fresh without any extra effort. Now let me talk briefly about organization. Your food supply should be stored in one designated area: a pantry shelf, a cupboard, or a section of a spare room. It should be cool, dry, and away from direct sunlight. Everything should be clearly labeled with the expiry date facing outward. The simpler the system, the easier it is to maintain. In terms of quantities, a useful starting target for a household of 4 is roughly 4 kilograms of grains or pasta, 4 to 6 tins of protein, 4 to 6 tins of vegetables or legumes, some cooking oil, and a supply of any shelf-stable staples you use regularly. That is not an overwhelming amount, and it provides a genuine short-term cushion. The practical takeaway from this lesson is simple. This week, look at your pantry and identify 3 to 5 foods your household eats regularly that also store well. Start buying a little extra of those each week. Choose one area to designate as your food backup space. And begin rotating from the front. That is the whole system. It is calm, it is practical, and it works. Get the free off-grid living guide. Link in bio.